welcome in the final Ringer Sunday pregame of the 2025 season as we get you set for Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara, California, between the Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold and the resurgent upstart Mike Vrabel-led, Drake May-led. The Patriots are back in the Super Bowl, but we are fired up to talk about it. Today's Ringer Sunday pregame, of course, is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel, where we are live on the FanDuel Sports Network. Odds subject to change. Jastremski here in New York City. Let's welcome in the wise guys for the final time this football season. Cousin Sal in Los Angeles, our wise wager champion, Raheem the Dream Palmer in Las Vegas, and the sharp Joe House in Washington, D.C. You know, Sally, I'm not going to lie, man. I don't know if it's the fact that we are not together for this year's Super Bowl, or we didn't do a show last Sunday, or the football season is coming to a close. I've been down in the dumps the last few days, man. I missed you guys. It's been too long.
It's very sad. It's very sad we're not together. I think we got thrown off Radio Row last year because House Moon, the Bussin' with the Boys. I don't know what it is, but I see you in a jacket, JJ. This is a big deal. It was just week 8. What the hell happened? What the hell are we going to do after this? Is there UFL? We have to get back together and do this in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, if it's for March Madness or for, I don't know, some stupid baseball or basketball weekend, we need it because I miss my wise guys. I miss my fix. And I miss our vibes. What can I tell you? Joe House, sorry I pulled the page out of the Blazer playbook this week. By the way, I think if all the picks go according to plan for Super Bowl 60, the dress code for your esteemed host is going to be drastically different, despite the fact that it's going to be Sunday morning, and I'm going to be livid with the idea of putting a suit on and how miserable I'll be putting the suit on. But if I win bets, who cares? But the more important and more pressing question, House, you have a trip coming up to your alma mater with a certain someone who's going to have a very big game coming up on Sunday involving his New England Patriots. We'll get to that. We'll have your thoughts. We'll have your plays. We'll have your picks. How bad of an influence are you going to be on one Bill Simmons for the 24 hours in Boston, Massachusetts?
Yeah, JJ, the answer is the worst. I'm going to be the worst influence. And here's the fun thing. I absolutely love the Super Bowl because there are 593 different ways you can bet it, slice it and dice it. We all love the novelty bets, but apparently you can only bet them if you're in Ontario, Canada. Well, I have one to add to the list. Let's go ahead and set a line right now for what time Saturday morning, in the wee hours of Saturday morning, 1 a.m., 1:15 a.m., 12:30 a.m., is Bill Simmons going to be jamming a giant slice of pizza down his face. I'll have a camera out, and I'll have a timestamp for it. I'll put it out there for everybody so we can document. Somebody set a line for this thing.
I love it.
Raheem is usually our resident odds maker, but because, Sal, you worked with Bill for years and you spent a whole lot of nights in the wee hours of the Jimmy Kimmel offices, I'll let you make this line. Minus 350?
You may have to muscle him a little bit, House. You may have to hold him upside down, grab his, Suge Knight style off the balcony as you're shoving that pepperoni slice in his mouth. I don't know what time everything closes. Yeah, I will say 1:15 a.m. is good.
That works for me. Now, Raheem, I know you're still basking in the glory of your Wise Wager championship. And the postseason, we were heads up in that Rams-Seahawks game 2 weeks ago. You got the better of me. You got the better of me and everybody else on this show throughout the course of the year. So job well done on that. As the Super Bowl is now upon us, it's interesting. For years, Dream, I used to look at the props on this particular day and get so excited because I was going to do so much stuff that I would not do. And I feel like the legalization of the sports gambling and the FanDuel app being at my fingertips for Sunday Night Football, for Monday Night Football, for Thursday, for all of these games. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll bet the coin toss. I'll do a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't do come Sunday. But a lot of these bets that used to be so unique and so fun, Dream, for me now, it's been there, done that. You'll find out when you win me Sunday in Vegas. Been there, done that. It's just another football game, baby.
Yeah, and it's definitely made the market a lot sharper. I mean, you have these guys. I mean, look, you have these guys, and we're included. we're betting props each and every week of the season. So now, instead of coming to the Super Bowl and you're seeing these odds makers don't know how to price these games, they know how to price everything now. So it's made it tougher to find winning, positive expected value wagers, but we're going to do our best and hopefully cash in wagers for you guys.
Sal, do you feel that way with the props? Because I know you did the pod with Simmons the Sunday before the Super Bowl, and that's like a tradition unlike any other. But don't get me wrong, I'm betting them. I'm excited to bet them. We're going to give a bunch out throughout the next hour and a half. But we're giving out a family meal once a week. You know, we're giving out a prop on the show starting in week 1, week 5, all of these games. Has that diluted the Super Bowl experience?
A little bit. Yeah, we're a lot smarter than we were, right? We do 14 shows a week. We do that pregame show, as you mentioned, where we're picking prop guys. So we know the third string tight end for Seattle. So it's a little less fun. And then throw on top of it that it's the last game of the year and just makes everything so miserable.
Well, listen, we're going out with a bang for this 2025 season. We will have guest picks from Tate Frazier and Anthony Dabbundo coming at you. We'll have the family meal, which now is going to be as difficult as ever to put together, especially if you're feeling that maybe this Super Bowl is not going to be as high scoring as some of the other Super Bowls we've seen in years past. But as we give out our official play and our wisest wager for Super Bowl 60, Sal, the trophy will be relocating to Las Vegas for next season, but it is still the 2025 campaign. You still are clinging to your title from each of the last 2 years. So it's only right that I give you the T-box one more time. Seahawks, Patriots, the line in this game is at 4.5. The total is at 45.5. What's the play?
I wouldn't have minded if you skipped me here because this is all on emotion, right? And nobody wants to hear that from a professional handicapper. But listen, my favorite team is the Cowboys. My second favorite team is everybody who's suiting up against New England. But I try to think about it objectively, and I'm like, what are the Patriots better at, really? Seattle had the league's toughest scoring defense, 17 points a game. I think the third best scoring offense, over 28 points a game. They're better at special teams. All right, you can maybe, if you want, you could think Drake maybe is a better quarterback, but Seattle's edge is at wide receiver, right? It makes up for it. So if you like Seattle, now I hear people saying, yeah, I like Seattle, but I don't want to lay the points. Forget about that. 52 out of 59 Super Bowls, the winner has covered. There's only been 7 trip-ups in like 60 years. So it's not worth you trying to thread the needle here. This game's going to go played over a span of 5 hours. If they're going to win Seattle, they'll find a way to win by 7. Somewhat close early, I think, and then Mike McDonald plan comes to fruition. I'm on record saying Seattle 33, Patriots 20, which pays 250 to 1 on FanDuel. Either way, let's just please get it over with already.
So I won't be rooting for that, and you'll find that line a little bit. But we are rooting together when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks. And I wonder if that has played into my calculus as far as how I'm handicapping this game. Because, yes, emotion and the idea of the Patriots winning yet another Super Bowl after saying goodbye to 2 iconic figures in Bill Belichick and Tom Brady is something that doesn't sit well with the state of New Yorker. But my wisest wager is coming up in a little bit. Raheem, I've spent a lot of time with you the last 2 weeks. You know, I've missed Joe House, some on Monday, but it feels like a lifetime ago. Sal, I haven't seen on camera since the AFC and the NFC championship games. But we're doing the Monday gambling show. We're doing the Thursday gambling show. And you told me this the day after the championship games, and it is only solidified as we have moved closer to Super Sunday. You, sir, are going a heads up with our guy, Cousin Sal, and you like the New England Patriots, so make the case.
Yes, I'm not going to pretend that I have the sports almanac. I'm not going to pretend that. But back in October of 2025, I told you guys that Drake May would win a Super Bowl before Josh Allen. Well, it's February of 2026, and that time may be upon us. And you're looking at the New England Patriots, who everybody seems to undervalue this season. They are 13-6-1 against the spread. And they're covering by an average of 6 points a game. And yet everybody seems to think that the Seattle Seahawks is going to blow this team out. I'm saying not so fast because I'm taking the New England Patriots. If you look at Super Bowl favorites of 4 or more, they haven't covered since 2007. You look at the last team to cover as a 4 or more point favorite in the Super Bowl were Peyton Manning against the Chicago Bears in 2007. I look at the Seattle Seahawks team. Everybody says, oh, the Patriots, they haven't played anybody all year long. Well, if you look at the Seahawks, their run in the postseason, look at who they've played. they played the San Francisco 49ers, who were bombed out and depleted. Everybody was in the hospital. And yet, for some reason, the San Francisco 49ers took money. It went from 7.5 to 6.5 by game time. They also played the Los Angeles Rams. They haven't covered in a month. This Rams team was dead in the water. They should have lost to Carolina. They should have lost to the Bears. Then they had to go on the road and play Seattle, and the Rams still almost beat them. And then if you look at the Seahawks, they had a 61% passing success rate against the Rams defense. That defense was not good at all. This Patriots defense has been dominant in the postseason. And if you look at the Rams and the 49ers, Sam Darnold was able to see them 3 times. This is the first and only time he's going to be able to see this Patriots defense. I think the Patriots defense is going to dominate. And this is my hot take right here. This is a Tom Brady-esque Super Bowl. Yes, Tom Brady. The first 3 New England Patriots Super Bowls, when the Patriots dominated with defense and Tom Brady did what he had to do, led the game-winning drive to win it, that's what the Patriots are going to do. I'm going to take the plus 4.5. If you want to take the money line, that's fine. It's unfortunate on this show, we don't have an oh my God pick, but if we did, Patriots minus 2.5 would be my pick for oh my God. I'm taking the Patriots plus 4.5 as my best bet for the Super Bowl.
Gonna be with this guy, and he's siding with the Empire. I do love Raheem Palmer, so it doesn't matter. I'll find a way to make it work. How can we not? Now, Joe House, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to break the tie here because we heard 2 of the wise guys make 2 very compelling cases for each side of this Super Bowl. Raheem with the Patriots case, Sal with the Seattle Seahawks case. What's your case going to be, buddy boy?
Well, I'm not going to break any ties whatsoever because I have a bet that accommodates both of these guys' perspective on this football game. I am parlaying the Patriots on an alt spread at 10.5 points with a total. I'm pushing the total up to 51.5, and I'm saying it's going to be under. So it's the Patriots by getting 10.5 and the under of 51.5. And the reason that I'm playing it this way is because you just heard 2 very compelling cases made by the Cousin Sal and Raheem Palmer on how this thing might go down. This is a hard one, and it strikes me as a let's be careful out there kind of game, which is why I'm looking for room to roam a little bit, especially with respect to the spread. The Patriots lost 3 games, none of them by more than 7 points. The challenge here is the defenses have the advantage over the offenses, and you have to make a decision. Do you trust your lying eyes? What do you believe about this Patriots defense? Raheem has a very strong conviction about the Patriots defense. I don't know. We just watched them play two terrible offensive lines and a quarterback that hasn't touched a football in 2 years. How the hell am I supposed to know? So I just want to have some room to roam here, and that's the bet that I've set up. It's minus 119 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. You can call it a cowardly bet, but if it wins, it's the same green money, JJ.
I understand that, Joe House, and I have a thought on each of the sides in this game. But I'm going to avoid that. Am I going to be a loser? Am I going to be rooting against fun on Super Sunday? Yes, yes, and yes. That's why I love the under in this game at 45.5. I think it is a stone cold under for a variety of different reasons. Sal, you hit on the dominance of the Seattle defense and the monstrous weakness that you have on the New England offensive line with those 2 tackles. Will Campbell has been awful in this postseason. Morgan Moses is looking like he should be on the golf course with you and I, who had a good regular season, but he's getting up there in age. And both of those tackles have gotten smoked so far in this postseason. That's scary against Mike McDonald's defense. On the flip side, New England, their defensive line, with the emergence of Milton Williams and with Barmore, you can't run on the Patriots. So now you're in a situation where Sam Darnold, with 1 receiver and then a whole lot of questions, has got to go and make plays knowing he can't get a running game. I don't expect Seattle to be able to run on the New England Patriots. So when you add all of that up, the defensive acumen of Mike McDonald, combined with the toughness and the brute strength of what a Mike Vrabel team brings to the table, I just think we're going to see an ugly, ugly football game. I think it's close. I think it's down to the wire potentially, but I don't see how it gets over 45.5 unless we're talking about a whole lot of shenanigans. So you might call me a coward. You might say I'm no fun, despite the fact that I look like I'm a whole lot of fun at this point in time. Under 45.5 is my wise wager for Super Bowl 60. Now, I have a question for the two guys who are playing the side. Sal, you specifically, you mentioned how you don't see a pathway to Seattle winning a close game. I'm in agreement with that. I don't think you need to worry about, hey, Seattle money line taking it with this, Seattle money line taking it with that. Would you be frisky enough, though? Because I would. And a play I like in this game, the one I'm making with the Seattle Seahawks, I think if they win this game, they're going to smoke the Patriots. Where it's like, wow, this defense, there's a reason why they've been as proficient and top-notch as they've been all year. They're going to flex. They're going to expose the weakness of those tackles for the Patriots. Can I interest you, Sal, in some escalators in 9.5 or 13.5, something along the lines of that?
I have it higher scoring than you, but I do have the margin being 13. Now, like I said, I think it's going to be close for a minute, and then all of a sudden the talent will show through. And hopefully, I don't know, this Drake maybe. I have to get lost. I can't be around for that podcast after this game if Pats win. Can I? I have to take off.
You're going to have to take it. You're going to have to take it like a man, but I'm going to be honest with you. It will not be a pleasant hour and a half on Netflix. I'm just warning you. I'm just warning you.
I think it'll be very pleasant. I'm rooting for it.
I know you're rooting for it. And on that note, Raheem, you obviously are playing the Patriots on the money line, right? Like, if you're betting Patriots plus 4.5, is your advice to everybody out there, you like the Patriots, take them to win the game?
I mean, I think you could sprinkle, 25% of it. But I do think this is a game that could end in 3. Like I said before, there hasn't been a 4-point or more favorite, which is covered since 2007. So you look at like a lot of the Super Bowls recently, the line's been 1.5. This is the biggest Super Bowl favorite in quite some time. So I think this is a scenario. This could be a 3-point game. Like, it really wouldn't shock me, especially with both of these defenses. But, you played the total, JJ, and I think there's some interesting ways to play it that you don't necessarily play the full game. Like, FanDuel has a prop right now, and, I have some friends who blindly play this every year. No score in the first 6 minutes of the first half. That's like minus 130, minus 140. So a lot of times these Super Bowls, they tend to start off really slow because no one wants to lose the Super Bowl in the first 5-6 minutes of the game. So they get off conservative. Even look at last year. The Eagles were up 24-0 at half, but there was still no score for the first 8 minutes. So you could approach it that way as well. You could also approach first half under.
Fellas, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I had a hard time with the player props for this game because I expect it to be low scoring. So you really got to get creative. You might have to dig deep if that's your kind of motif for the game. Sal, you're expecting an Eagle-Chiefs Super Bowl from a couple of years ago with his player props galore and everybody's happy. Like, you're getting a high-scoring game and people high-fiving and enjoying themselves at a sports book or at a Super Bowl party or wherever they might be. I want people miserable. That's what I want. I want under. You could give me an under. You could give me an over. But I need a player prop for Super Bowl 60. The floor is yours.
Well, you're getting too hard on yourself here. I mean, you could have fun. There's still other things. You could bet the under, but still bet the orange Gatorade or bet someone to cry during the anthem. Well, there's so much fun to be had here. But, JJ, you're right about these props. And we've had a long time now, 2 weeks to look at these props, which is too long. Because then you start second and third and 12th guessing your prop picks, especially this one, Kenneth Walker receiving props. Everyone is calling this one square, right? But it's a must-bet on prop. So, of course, I'm squaring it up even more. It is Kenneth Walker. The real number is 20-plus receiving yards. I'm making it 30-plus receiving yards. So he has 78 in 2 playoff games. He's gone over this 30 number 5 times. The Pats are bottom 8 in targets and receptions versus opposing running backs. So Squaresville, I know, but I'm getting plus 174 for 30-plus receiving yards. Very exciting. Get behind KW3 on Sunday.
You should know this, Sal, because he was a frequent guest, I believe, on the Kimmel Show. Sometimes it's hip to be square. Come on. He was a frequent Kimmel guest, right?
I'm going to look for a harmonica. You're damn right he is.
That's what I was talking about. Good. I'm glad my memory isn't totally shot as I'm about to be 38. House, there's a certain guy you're siding with here. He doesn't wear shoes. He's out of his mind. But he kind of has developed a reputation as like a big game player. We saw this in Buffalo last year. You go back, he won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. I mean, he was even scoring touchdowns with the Dolphins when nobody was scoring touchdowns for the Dolphins during the Brian Flores era. Matt Collins, back off the injury, is somebody that you have circled. How are we playing the Mac Man?
Yeah, JJ, I feel like you're reading my script. I mean, I have here big games are where Matt Collins comes out to play. Isn't that what he did last week? much has been made of this easy Patriots schedule, and I think it's appropriate. But when they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they played the Baltimore Ravens, the second game against the Bills, Hollins recorded his best performances in those games and had at least 8 targets over the course of them, had 7 targets against the Browns. He came off of injured reserve to play in the AFC Championship game and caught 2 passes for 51 yards. So his total is 24.5. Forget that. Let's go ahead and get make some money. It's the Super Bowl, our last chance to bet football. I have him at 40 yards or more. It's a nice plus money prop here. The Patriots had the 3rd most pass attempts of 20 or more yards on average this season. And over the course of these playoffs, now maybe it's just Matthew Stafford and these Rams, but Seattle gave up 7 of 15 on throws of 20 yards or more downfield. Hollins is the deep target. He's the one. He leads the Patriots in those targets, and I love him in this big game moment. Mac Hollins, 40 or more receiving yards is my favorite prop.
I'm a big fan of that one, Joe House, and I think you can play that creatively. Chunk plays is where the Patriots have made the calling card all season long. The deep throw from Drake May. I think you could play Mac Hollins and Booty at 40-plus yards. I think you're hitting at least one of those, because I do think if you're going to go and attack this Seattle defense, it's not going to be via precision. It's going to be with the bomb. Drake May can throw a good bomb or two. We'll see if Mac Hollins brings you home the pay dirt. Speaking of Drake May, Raheem, he's been good to us this postseason as far as his rushing props are concerned. I feel like all 4 of us have capitalized on this over these last couple of weeks. You are looking at Drake May. You're looking at rushing, but you're playing it a little differently. What's the case?
Yeah, I'm going with Drake May over 6.5 rushing attempts. You can play the over on his rushing yards, but I like this one better just because you don't have to worry about kneel downs at the end of the game. And I really like this one just because if you look at what he's done in the postseason, there's 2 things I like to approach. And you guys have been watching this show for quite a while. When we get to the playoffs, I either like to play kicker props or I like to play quarterback rushing props, because we know that quarterbacks in these situations, in playoff moments, in the Super Bowl, in big time moments, they're throwing caution to the wind and they're running. If you look at Drake May, what he's done in the postseason, he's had 24 rushing attempts. 10 came 2 weeks ago against the Denver Broncos, and 10 came against the Los Angeles Chargers. He's played a ton of top 5, top 10 defenses in the postseason, and Seattle is one as well. So maybe they lock up some receivers and Drake May decides to throw caution to the wind and run the ball. Let's go over 6.5 rushing attempts. And do remember, a kneel down counts as a rushing attempt.
Yeah.
So when the Patriots win this game and Bill Simmons is celebrating, and I'm celebrating with him, and I'm sending him a glass or a bottle of Vivo Clico, and when Drake May kneels down, that counts.
It does. Now, I think the 3 of you know I'm a sucker for a narrative. And the narrative I'm attacking for this player prop is one Cooper Kupp. Sal, you know him well. You spent some time with him in NFL Honors.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm hugging Cooper Kupp at the end of this Super Bowl, because the way I look at Seattle is this. JSN is amazing. He's been a top 3 receiver in the NFL all year. Mike Vrabel knows that. The Patriots defense knows that. All of America knows that. Christian Gonzalez, plus a safety, is going to spend a whole lot of time with Jackson Smith-Njigba throughout the entirety of this football game. So therefore, I want to attack other pass catchers on the Seattle Seahawks, especially knowing I don't think Seattle's going to be able to run the ball in this game. And we saw Cooper Kupp have a moment in the NFC title game against his former team. He obviously has Super Bowl experience. After all, he did win Super Bowl MVP in Los Angeles against the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think at minus 136, this is a bargain. Cooper Kupp is going to have one-on-one coverage. Sam Darnold is going to trust him. He's going to get 30-plus receiving yards in this game. I love this prop. I'm playing it every which way imaginable. Cooper Kupp will be heard from in Super Bowl number 60. Now, he is a former Super Bowl MVP. We know the deal. Okay, House, I know, you know, we all know. We talk about it on every single one of these gambling shows. The award normally goes to a quarterback. So I almost feel like we should preface our MVP conversation saying, if it's somebody other than Drake May or somebody other than Sam Darnold, because it's simply no fun to just say, oh, I'm going to go and give you the quarterback. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Captain Obvious. We all know. That's the way it goes. That said, we've seen examples. Julian Edelman, Cooper Kupp, Deion Branch. You go back to Malcolm Smith for the Seattle Seahawks at the MetLife Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. It can be done. So, Joe House, other than the obvious, who do we like for Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, this wager of mine fits the game script that informs why I bet the game the way I did. My wise wager, Patriots plus 10.5, under 51.5. Because the game script, I imagine, is kind of a knockdown, drag-out game. Both of these defenses are going to take away the other team's running game. And I love Dream's idea of no scoring early in this football game because I think there's going to be a big feeling out process that we're going to go a long time without a score in this football game. That's the way this thing plays out according to my script, which sets up perfectly for somebody other than a quarterback to take down the MVP, and that player is JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Look, he was an absolute stud against the Rams. And everybody game plans. They come in saying, we're going to try and take JSN away. He can't be taken away. If Sam Darnold can find him, if Sam Darnold is solid on his feet and not feeling pressure, then it's just pitch and catch between him and JSN. We can go through target share, air yards, all kinds of metrics. JSN is at the tippy top. Plus 550 is the number that's available now, and it has to fit a script that goes along with the way that the Rams won the Super Bowl in 21 or the way that Edelman and the Patriots won the Super Bowl in 18, which is, the quarterbacks don't really distinguish themselves. It's a lower scoring game, and one player shines above all the rest. That's my JSN, plus 550.
So it's interesting from that standpoint, House. I'm looking at another Seattle Seahawks wide receiver. He's also a special teams ace. I'm expecting a low-scoring game. In two of the biggest wins the Seahawks have this year, the comeback game on Thursday Night Football against the Rams that everybody watched Thursday Night Football, determine home field advantage, and the divisional round against the San Francisco 49ers. Rashid Shaheed returned monstrous kicks and punts for touchdowns. He also has the capability of getting a 40 or a 50-yard bomb from Sam Darnold for a touchdown. You throw in a couple of big returns, a bomb touchdown, Darnold maybe throws a pick or two. It's a long shot. I know it's asking a lot. 50-1, sign me up, Sal. You know I love a long shot. Rashid Shaheed is the pick I'm giving out for Super Bowl MVP. What can go wrong?
Well, a lot could go wrong, unfortunately. I mean, I like a guy like that, and I'm going with Kupp as my long shot for 100-1 for all the reasons you gave, JJ. Also, I think he should have teased that maybe I'll retire after this game. Get a little sympathetic vote in there somewhere if he has a decent game. But call me Captain Obvious. At least I have a rank. That's nice, Captain, because I'm taking Sam Darnold here. I just think it's a different way to play Seahawks money line and not have to lay 2-1. You get plus 115 for Darnold. And so, I was talking with Simmons about this on Sunday and pointed out this has basically become a quarterback award, like the MVP honors. I know it sucks, but there's been 3 in a row. There have been 12 of the last 16 have been quarterbacks. But, as soon as the game gets into the 20s, you could rule out a defensive player. That's just how it is. And, if the winning quarterback spreads out his touchdowns, you have to give it to him. Peyton and Eli threw 1 touchdown and won the MVP. Joe Namath threw 0 touchdowns, all won the MVP. So Darnold plus 115 versus a Seattle money line bet, I think is a good option.
Okay, you're taking Sam Darnold. Raheem, I feel like I'm on a craps table and you're about to make a bet that normally I would never, ever make. The field bet, which is one of the worst plays you could ever make. It's just stupid. It's bad odds. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. You know what's not terrible? The play you're about to give me. Sam Darnold, the field. You're feeling the field, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to field versus Sam Darnold. Look, Sam Darnold, he hasn't thrown an interception in this postseason, but I already highlighted that the defenses that he played were trash. Well, if you look at Sam Darnold during the regular season, you're talking about a guy who is 3rd in interceptions. The only 2 quarterbacks who have thrown more interceptions than Sam Darnold, Geno Smith and Tua. So that's the company he keeps. And now he plays a Patriots defense that we know is dominant. And I can almost guarantee that Sam Darnold's going to throw an interception here. And if he throws 1 or 2, that takes him out of MVP conversation. And if you look at both defenses are dominant. So it's very possible that the defenses could win this game and somebody else could steal it. So I'm going to go to Field versus Sam Darnold. But I also have a long shot. Sal knows 20 years ago, we had a quarterback by the name of Larry Brown win Super Bowl
20 years
MVP.
ago. You wish.
30.
More
30
like
years
30.
ago. I'm sorry. Sometimes
I wish it was 20 years ago.
Let us dream. Let us dream, JJ.
Sometimes I still think the 90s is 20 years ago, but that's just me getting old. But 30 years ago, we had Larry Brown, a quarterback, win Super Bowl MVP. I think it's very possible that Sam Darnold is throwing interceptions to another quarterback. We're going with Christian Gonzalez as my long shot Super Bowl MVP, 150-1. And he is going to be defending Jackson Smith and Juka. And if he's able to slow him down, maybe get a pick or two, that 150-1 has some bargain. It's a lottery ticket, but my lottery ticket's been hitting this year. So trust me.
Nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned lottery ticket. We have so much more coming your way in this final Ringer Sunday pregame of the 2025 season. Guest picks from Tate, Frazier, and Anthony Dabbundo. Family meal, novelties. It's all coming your way when we return. Welcome back. Ringer Sunday pregame. Get you ready for Super Bowl 60 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. The wise guys are here. Jastremski, Cousin Sal, Raheem Palmer, and Joe House. We're going to welcome in a buddy of mine. He's done an outstanding job all season long on the Ringer Tailgate. Tuesday, he spends his time with you, Cousin Sal, on the Ringer Gambling Show. And, you know, I love you, Joe House, but he is the best golfer without question on the Ringer payroll, on the Ringer staff. The great Carolina Tar Heel, my main man, Tate Frazier, checks in for Super Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Tate, my boy, I hope you didn't bet UNC laying 10.5 against Syracuse the other day on Monday. If you did, my apologies.
Yeah, that was tough, JJ. Congratulations to the Orange for covering that line. That was a victory in and of itself, right? That was a nice comeback. But yeah, good to be here. I got the experts to break down what's actually going to happen, and I'll do my best to give some picks here, and we'll see what happens. I got my Drake May jersey behind me. I'm pulling for Drake, but I'm not feeling too good about what's going to happen in this game for my boy Drake. So we'll talk about it all. Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Don't sell us out. Don't sell us out. You're supposed to be from Carolina. Come on, man.
I got the jersey. Raheem,
well, we're going to find Raheem, we're going to find out.
More Carolina than you. I'm going to be honest with you. I done gave out the Carolina Panthers. Okay. I done gave out the Charlotte Hornets the last couple weeks. I'm riding with Drake May. Come on. Come on.
That's actually a great point, Tate. Raheem, I think, is trying to put together a resume so that way he can go to Charlotte maybe and run for mayor. Or maybe he's going to run for the governor of North Carolina. Raheem, is there like an ulterior motive that I'm unaware of?
There is not. I'm just keeping it real. I like Carolina. I got a good story to tell y'all off the air about the last time I was in North Carolina.
I like it.
Off the air. That's all you need to know.
Skip my segment. Let's hear the story, man.
No. We got to save that for off the air. You do have plays for us. You have the Drake May jersey behind you. You mentioned that you didn't have a whole lot of confidence for Drake May in this spot against the Seattle Seahawks. On this show, Tate, we give out a wise wager, which means it's your favorite play, whatever it's going to be. You got play number one for us. Is it the side? Is it the total? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, number one scoring defense in the regular season, Seattle Seahawks, number one scoring defense in the playoffs, the Patriots. I think it's going to be a defensive game. That's why I don't feel so good. I feel like both quarterbacks are going to be a little gun shy in this game, try not to make mistakes, and I think the defenses are going to dominate the game. So I don't really feel good on one side or the other, but I feel good for the under. I just don't think they're going to hit this number. So I'm going to stick there, under 45.5. Not the most value, but minus 112. I feel good about that. I feel like, again, the defenses are going to dictate this game, determine the outcome of this game. And the Seahawks, especially, being able to drop 7 guys back, only 4 guys can get to Drake May, cause some havoc, wreak some havoc. We'll get to who I think is going to cause a lot of problems for him. But I like the under in this game. 45.5, I'll take the under.
Well, Tate, considering that's my wise wager, I love hearing that. I love that we will be riding together on Super Sunday. Sal, do you expect that you will be mocking the two of us on Tuesday when this game is like 37-35 and like one of the most exciting Super Bowls in the history of the Super Bowl?
No, I mean, listen, that's a low line compared to how Super Bowls are, right? Usually 51 or 52, but you and Tate, you spelled it out. These are the top two defenses, depending on how you want to look at it. And we are due for a 17-7 clunker, like, what was it, Rams, Patriots from a few years ago? But, the way Tate says it, he says it with a smile, always brings a smile. You can tell he's not married yet. That's gonna. We got to time lapse that smile to see what it's like after the nuptials. But under 45 and a half. God bless.
Just turn it into a frown quickly, Sal. I'll be right with you.
Come on, no. We
sex
can't diminish the excitement of married life. Can't do that. Can't do that, Sally boy. Okay, right. Tate, there's 10 zillion props. So it's very easy to get lost in the sauce. But you got to get lost in the sauce. It's Super Sunday. It's the last time we can do this for a football game until you hit September. What is your favorite player prop for this game coming up?
I think both the quarterbacks, like I said, are going to struggle early. They're going to get into the deep bag of tricks and say, we need to get something to get some pop, get a big play down the field. It's not going to happen just running our normal offense because the defenses are determining the game. So let's go for a little trick play. Let's get a little, flea flicker, a little pass to the outside. Maybe Cooper Kupp, who put that Instagram up. Sal and I were laughing about that. If he actually ends up throwing a pass in this game, that's one of the craziest things we've seen during the week as far as leading into what's going to happen. So maybe Kupp makes a pass. Maybe someone on the Patriots, Mac Hollins or someone that can throw the football makes a pass. So I just think someone's going to try to make a play, try to make a splash play. Any non-QB to throw a passing touchdown, plus 1,200. Now, this is probably a sucker bet. Probably not going to hit, but again, let's have some fun. Let's take a big prop here, and you can get it at plus 1,200. So I feel like it's possible because these offenses are definitely going to struggle.
Getting frisky. And listen, we saw back in the day Mike Vrabel catching passes from Tom Brady in Super Bowls. So I thought maybe we were going to go in that direction where we'd have like a defensive player coming in, pulling a page out of the Mike Vrabel playbook. But Tate, at that number, come on, man. I'm in on it. Let's go. Now, listen.
Let's go for it.
Super Bowl MVP. Four different choices. I got pretty crazy with Rashid Shaheed. Raheem suggested a long shot potentially of Christian Gonzalez. Sal, you even suggested a long shot of Cooper Kupp. So we really went off the chalk for the most part. You maybe have a different name that would be kind of crazy in many ways. I need a Super Bowl MVP out of you.
Yeah, JSN feels like the one that I would go for to be safe. But if you want to take a big swing, this guy has the same odds as Cooper Kupp. And I do feel like he had a sack and a forced fumble in both the playoff games so far for the Seattle Seahawks. So I feel like Drake May has a proclivity, even though I love him, to fumble the football around a little bit too much. And I think DeMarcus Lawrence at plus 10,000 feels like a surefire fun bet there. And again, the last time the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, Malcolm Smith, defensive player, he had a touchdown interception in that game. So it's got to be a big splash play, but I think DeMarcus Lawrence maybe gets a forced fumble recovery. Maybe he recovers it and scores a touchdown. So I can take him at plus 10,000. And I do think it's going to be the first time since Von Miller was the MVP in the same stadium to win Super Bowl MVP. So I'll go with DeMarcus Lawrence. That's my big swing.
I love it. Listen, let's root for somebody other than a quarterback to go and win Super Bowl MVP. Right. So at least one of these lottery tickets can, dare I say, come home to roost. Although, to be fair, House, I feel like JSN should not be put in the lottery camp the way Kupp, Shaheed, and Gonzalez, and Lawrence, for that matter, would be,
Well, he's not a lottery. I mean,
that's what I mean. Like, outside of the big two, he's probably the next best choice.
I think so, and this is exactly, the direction I think you have to go when you don't trust either quarterback. And that's one of the stories here that's making this one hard for me, at least.
Tate, you and Sal have a little fun on Tuesdays. I've participated in this fun. I'm turning it over to you. You got something for the Wisecast. What's it going to be?
Yeah, we're going to play a fun game. It's Joe House's least favorite game. We call it over-under reactions. I give you a statement if you tell me if it's an over and under reaction. If you go to ESPN.com right now, you can see Josh Allen is the biggest story of the Super Bowl, apparently. So let's start there. Josh Allen will never make a Super Bowl. That's the statement. Raheem, my Carolina compadre, I'll go to you first. Is that an over or an under reaction? Your thoughts?
It's an under reaction. I came right on this show 4 or 5 months ago. I said Drake May was going to win one before Josh Allen. And one of the reasons why is because, look, Josh Allen, he's never had a great coach. He's never had really a great roster. But also, he's always going to give you one. It's always going to be an excuse with Josh. Multiple years in a row, Josh Allen has had the ball with a chance to win the game, to knock off Patrick Mahomes, Down 3. Can't get it in the field goal range. Can't get it into the end zone. That's 2 years in a row for that. Then he has the ball in overtime. Can't get it done. So at some point, the excuses have got to end. Look, I cape for James Harden like y'all cape for Josh Allen. I don't think he's ever going to get one. I'm going to be real.
Wow. All right. Wow. Underreaction. Shocking stuff there. Joe House, what do you think about that? Over or underreaction?
He's not playing.
I am going to play on this one. And I feel like I should say it quietly because I'm such a Josh Allen fan. Met him right when he was drafted. Big kid, lovely kid, was throwing balls to everybody in the crowd. What a wonderful young man. I don't think he's going to make a Super Bowl because the AFC is so gosh darn difficult. Not only do you have the established all-star MVP quarterbacks and teams in the form of Lamar Jackson, in the form of Patrick Mahomes, in the form of Joe Burrow, but we have these ascendant teams as well. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and the Bills just revealed something about themselves, which is they ain't run very good. Their whole coaching debacle that they just showed us in landing Joe Brady, they don't need Joe Brady. They need somebody that will come in there and help them select some good defensive players and put those defensive players in good position to go play some good defense, because the Bills defense let them down once again. Josh Allen not making the Super Bowl. I think it's an underreaction. I'm sorry.
You know what's going to happen?
13 seconds was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, yo.
Josh Allen is going to get traded to Raheem's beloved Carolina Panthers and make it to the Super Bowl, and then his head's going to spin off. He's not going to know what to do.
Perfect. We'll take him. Yeah, that'd be great. You mentioned a coach. Maybe this coach could have gone up to Buffalo and helped him out. I'll go to the next one. Mike Tomlin. It's speculated he's going to end up on TV. So I say to you guys, Mike Tomlin's going to end up being a TV star. JJ, I'll go to you first. Over or underreaction?
This is an underreaction. Mike Tomlin is going to be a TV star, but there's a major caveat. Is he all in on being a broadcaster? Is he going to be a broadcaster, or is he going to be a guy that's hanging out for a year, thinking about his next job and afraid to offend anybody? If he's going to be Mike Tomlin, Mike Tomlin's got the persona, he's got the swag, he's got the sort of attitude that networks should be drooling over. I think it's an underreaction, and it takes one to know one, Tate. Just saying. I know stars.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like baby doll South, you know? I know a star, baby. I know a
pitch
star.
for yourself there, JJ.
Well, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about others. I'm talking about you guys. I feel like that is the next evolution of my career, is getting into that business and finding people who are really good at their jobs. I'm not talking about me. I'm me. But yes, Sal, I think he's going to be outstanding on TV.
You just got to smoke 3-4 packs a day. You could do that.
I can't get on board with.
You'll run him off. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction. Unless he's, a TV star, unless he starts dating like Kris Jenner, is he going to be part of the Kardashian show or Stranger Things season 19, like a cameo? But I kind of think it's going to be how JJ B option, where he said he's in between TV and coaching. He does it for a year, and then he smells it. He's like, I got to get back out there. And we could already name the 5 to 7 teams that are going to be looking for a coach next year. He'll fall in one of them, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm with you. Maybe he goes back to the division he knows very well. Let's talk about a quarterback that's in that division, Shedeur Sanders. And I say Shedeur Sanders will make another Pro Bowl. I'll go to you first, House. Over or underreaction? Your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to say underreaction because this new year, 2026, we have introduced a new NFL vocabulary. The Hall of Fame doesn't mean anything because the winningest coach can't go into it. And the Pro Bowl is just a game that pros play in, apparently, because 4 Cowboy players combined to catch 5 touchdowns. 4 Cowboys catching 5 touchdowns in a football game.
Sal's favorite game.
My God, so much to pick on, House. You'd have to go after Raheem and my team there.
So as long as Shedeur is a pro, he can play in this game. That's apparently the only requirement. If you're a pro, then you can play in the Pro Bowl, and he did that. So yeah, underreaction.
JJ, you feel the same? Underreaction or overreaction?
You know, I get where House is coming from because the Pro Bowl is an absolute abomination, but it's an overreaction because I'm going to be able to list 15 quarterbacks in the AFC who are going to be better than Shedeur Sanders. So the question is, how long is Shedeur Sanders going to be even playing in the AFC? How long is he going to be starting? My bet would be not very long. So overreaction.
Overreaction. There you go. We talked about him, the Cowboys, Sal. We owe Jerry Jones an apology after questioning the Micah Parsons trade. Over or underreaction?
No, overreaction. Maybe I and others jumped the gun a little bit, but I promise you, if Quinnen Williams gets injured and Micah leads the Packers to the Super Bowl after like a 15-sack season, no apology necessary. No one apologize. Raheem, don't apologize here.
Well, I actually agreed with the trade in the first place because with Micah Parsons, the Cowboys couldn't stop the run. Without Micah Parsons, the Cowboys couldn't stop the run until they made a trade. So at the end of the day, the Cowboys, they were a 7-win team, 8-win team with or without him. So trade him, get what you can get. I just wish the trade was a little better than what they got.
Good job by you, Jerry. You got it done. Next up, Super Bowl commercials should not air until the Super Bowl. Sal, I'll go to you first here. Over or underreaction?
You know, I got to say, I think it's a little bit of an overreaction. I know I'm in the minority here, but during the game, I couldn't give a crap less about the commercials. I'm tallying all my bets, trying to see what I need to have. Oh, okay, I parlayed tails with no one crying during the ad. That's a loser. Maybe rushing yards, scoregami. So there's so much to do during the game, so much accounting I have to do. I prefer seeing the commercials the week leading up.
Okay. House, what about you? Over or underreaction?
I'm with Sal, but I have a kind of a different perspective on this. And I know this is a family show, but for me, it starts to wet the whistle. It really builds the anticipation. Some people might call it a kind of foreplay for the big game. I'm not the one calling it that. I'm just saying some people might. And so I'm absolutely here for all of the start running them, Christmas time, and let me just build up to the Super Bowl climax. It sounds wonderful to me. Let's get going. Let's get going.
Hey, House, you like this game now. You get to work blue. It's great.
He's gotten warmed up on it. I think he's showing if I can change, you can change, everybody can change, you know?
Yeah, the Super Bowl climax. I got to add that one to my list there. Last one, Raheem, I'll go to you first. Raheem and Fernando Mendoza, projected number 1 pick, will be playing Keno in Vegas together by September.
Ooh.
Over or underreaction, Raheem?
I'm gonna say underreaction. Like I'm a little disappointed because I still haven't been able to play poker or blackjack or roulette or anything with Asia Wilson. Where you at, Asia Wilson? Come on, let's make it happen.
It's another Carolina person that you love. Look at you. You love Carolina.
I really do.
I'm going overreaction on this, by the way, because Raheem and Fernando Mendoza will be playing the don't pass line at a craps table near you.
Oh my God. You gonna get me fired. Bill was so mad at me for doing that.
No. I think I was more mad at Bill. Because I go, you're taking sides against the family, Raheem, and I thought you were
very upset. Raheem's not a Keno guy. You got the wrong game here, I think, Tate. But they took a lot of the Keno machines out. But I could see Raheem and Fernando maybe checking the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. Check a nice fun play.
Most definitely.
Yeah, like a wholesome afternoon there in Vegas.
Right.
That'd be sweet. Well, there you have it. Over underreactions. Thanks for playing the game, guys. And JJ, I'll turn it back over to you.
You were outstanding. I can't wait for the NCAA tournament. Of course, it will not include Syracuse. Hopefully, I have a new head coach sooner rather than later. But, buddy boy, you and Sal will reunite on Tuesday. Keep kicking ass. A pleasure as always, all right?
Great to see you guys. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
See you, buddy.
That's our pal, the great Tate Frazier. And he is a part of the family. But there is only one family meal. And that means it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting in the kitchen, finding an anytime touchdown play, and hoping for the best. And in a game that probably is going to be low scoring, this is going to be a really tough task. But you know what? We're not afraid of a challenge. Maybe we're going to have some miraculous Super Bowl win. This would be better than hitting the final on my Super Bowl squares, which, by the way, would be one hell of a Super Bowl, just saying, if you keep it score at home. Let's hit the music one last time. Family meal. Let's do it. Oh, that music. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it in a big way. Sal, we got to hit one of these. The Super Bowl is probably going to be the hardest one to hit. But you know what? Nothing like a challenge. Take it away.
Well, it's so sad. 3 years, we weren't able to hit one yet. I mean, it's my fault. I hang my head in shame, guys. And then now I have to bounce back with Drake maybe. I'm bringing crow as my dish because I'm eating crow. It tastes just like chicken. I've eaten it a lot over the year, but this may take the crow cake here. I labeled him Drake maybe, and he went on to win 16 out of his next 17 games. He's probably going to win a Super Bowl MVP. Let's face it, no matter what I say. And he's likely going to score a rushing touchdown. Now, that Denver-New England genuine game. There was only one touchdown to be had, and it was Drake May running it in. So you get that at plus 280. What a shameful year. Ends with Drake May scoring. I'm eating crow, and I'm sharing it with you guys.
Disappointing to say the least. Okay, House. Hopefully it's not crow.
No, we're going to a big boy tight end for the Seattle Seahawks, a multi-dimensional, so many dimensions that, it brings to mind a beautiful piece of pizza with, giant globs of mozzarella and the beautiful pepperoni. And if you want a little crumbled sausage on there as well, why not? Because A.J. Barner is going to get it done with his legs or by catching it. Short yardage specialist, 90% success rate on 10 rush attempts this season. Could score by way of the tush push. 6 receiving touchdowns, 5 end zone targets, second amongst all Seahawks receivers. When Milton Williams is on the field for the New England Patriots, over 80% of the touchdowns against the Patriots have been passing touchdowns. So that's another way for Barner to get there. He has run a route on over 75% of Sam Darnold's dropbacks, and he's come in a little quiet. He didn't get a lot of action here. 3 balls for 15 yards sets up perfect for him. All the focus on JSN. Let's get A.J. Barner, this beautiful piece of pizza, into the end zone.
2 down, 2 to go. Raheem, you got another tight end for us?
I'm going with Hunter Henry. He's led the Patriots to 7 receiving touchdowns this year, and he's had 8 end zone targets this season. You look at the Seattle Seahawks, they really, really, really funnel passes to tight ends this year, and I just don't know if the New England Patriots, they really have the receiving threats on the outside to really get open consistently. I think Hunter Henry is the guy. So let's go Hunter Henry plus 230 in the form of some Buffalo wings. And if you guys want to get frisky, you can take him to score the first touchdown at 17-1.
Listen, love me a first touchdown bet. You got to take one for each team and have that ticket take you maybe on a ride or a ride that ends in about 5 seconds. Depending on how the game goes, you just don't know. I love that all 3 of you gave juicy plus money anytime touchdowns. Add a follow suit. The narrative continues. Sal, you're going to love it. Cooper Kupp. Give me Cooper Kupp. Last but not least, as our 4th anytime touchdown scorer, a little under 3-1. In fact, let's take a look at that family meal. The final one for the 2025 NFL season for the Wise Guys. It is May for Cousin Sal. It is Raheem and Hunter Henry. For our house, it is A.J. Barner at plus 240. And for your boy, it's Mr. Kupp at plus 260. And this pays an outrageous amount of money. So if we're ever going to hit one, fellas, no time like the present. Just saying, house. Just saying.
No time like the present. I mean, go ahead and put them forward. You can do these individually. If you don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game, make sure you cover off all the angles. But you could put them all together, too. You could do that.
JJ, I will say your under goes up in flames probably if this hits. So you got to cover yourself a little bit.
You know what? Yeah. Because I'm a team player, as you know.
Good man.
I mean, I think anybody who has worked with me over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, how long I've been working. I'm getting older by the minute. I can't even keep score. I will gladly sacrifice losing my under if the family meal can come home to roost.
There you go. See, that's a team player.
I'm willing it into existence. This game could be 35, 32. It could be 48, 45. I don't care. A family meal win makes this Super Bowl 60 very much
Sure,
worthwhile.
that makes our season.
Oh, yeah.
It might make the next 5 seasons for him with that sort of payout. Coming up on the final Ringer Sunday pregame of this 2025 season, we got you covered for Super Bowl 60. Tony Tokens, Anthony Dabbundo. He's going to wrap up the show. He'll join us coming up next. We've hit the home stretch. Ringer Sunday pregame finale for 2025 NFL football. Super Bowl 60, Santa Clara, the Patriots, the Seahawks. The line is at 4.5. Either Sam Darnold or Drake May is going to be hoisting this year's Lombardi Trophy. And one of the Wise Guys is going to be really happy because one of them has played the Seattle Seahawks laying 4.5. The other has played the Patriots plus 4.5. House and I, we've put it a little differently. So you've heard from us for the last hour. Let's welcome in a guy who's been with us every Sunday throughout the year, my esteemed Syracuse buddy and the multi-talented Anthony Dabbundo. Dabbundo, welcome to the final show of the year. Are you feeling the end of football blues like your boy, or are you kind of over it because you have the Australian Open and college basketball coming your way?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my talents are. I'm multi-talented. I don't know that I have many, but I will say I am a multi-sport watcher. So I'm always ready for the next event, whether it is college basketball.
Is the Australian Open the next event? I
the
feel
Australian
like
Open's already over, but JJ's still getting caught up on that. Yeah, I like how
Sal,
this year.
I'll tell his story. Dabbundo knows and the fellas know. So I had a ticket on Sabalenka to win the Australian.
Yeah.
I woke up. I didn't watch the match. Now getting up at 3:30 in the morning on the East Coast to watch it. Sorry, hard pass. Like tennis, not that much. I see the Instagram post of her waving, and I text my family group chat, Arena, first place, let's go. My other sister chimes in, yeah, let's go. My sister, who works for Arena's social team, responds, are you guys effing stupid? She lost. So that's what happens when I'm scrolling on Instagram, sleep deprived with a child. Just, my bet won.
Yeah.
No, not so fast.
She was waving goodbye to your ticket, I guess. That was it.
Yes, exactly. She lit it on fire. So thanks for that, Arena. I love you, but thanks for that. Dabbundo, no more Bogarden, no more beating around the bush, no more filibustering. Super Bowl 60. I like the under. House is playing a parlay, but we have Raheem taking the points. We have Sally Boy laying the points. I guess you have to break the tie. Patriots, Seahawks, who's it going to be?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Seahawks -4.5 as my official against the spread pick. I don't mind a Patriots team total under either, but for the official sanctity of this contest that we find ourselves in, whatever that contest may be, we're going to go with the Seattle Seahawks -4.5. I think there's a lot of different ways to think about how this game could go, but the ultimate one that I kept coming back to was that I don't really like this matchup for the New England offense against the Seattle defense. It is very hard for me to figure out what the path is to consistent success for this offense. You could tell me that Drake May is going to hit a bunch of deep passes down the field. They've done that all year. But Seattle, not just the best this year at preventing explosive plays, but one of the 3 best defenses of the last decade at preventing explosive plays. So that avenue doesn't really work for me. The run game, New England, very inconsistent. Maybe they put an extra offensive lineman on the field. Maybe that's their path. But I'm not convinced they can consistently do that either. And so the one thing that I'm most confident in, besides Seattle's special teams advantage, is just that the Seattle defense has an advantage against the New England offense, and that will be the story of the game.
Is there any concern, Dabbundo, without Charbonnet, Seattle not going to run the football great against this stout New England run defense? Williams, Barmore, they've been a force throughout this postseason. And the game now all of a sudden is in the hands of Sam Darnold. Because I get your case. Seattle's defense is outstanding. The Patriot offense hasn't exactly lit the world on fire in these first couple of playoff games. But if this game is on Sam Darnold, does that scare you, change the calculus at all, or no?
Certainly. I think that's the red flag, right? That's the other side of this equation. I mean, the New England offense has averaged 22 yards per drive in the playoffs. That's 14 less than they did during the regular season, but they've managed to score points because their defense has been so good at forcing turnovers. And the one thing, if Seattle gets in those 3rd and longs, they have not been good at any point this year in 3rd and 5+. New England's defense, elite in those situations. So that's the case for New England. If both teams just keep trading punts, and we talked about this on the Friday show, we expect a lot of punts in this game, not a lot of first downs potentially, that could lead to kind of like a low-scoring slog type of a game, and then you don't love having -4.5. But I ultimately do think Seattle will force a key fumble at some point on Drake May. That's been one of the stories. They've gotten away with it in New England. I don't know how long that's going to last.
JJ, did you guys go? What'd you do for the dreaded 107? Did you guys go New England? I know House had to go New England.
So,
yeah.
I entrusted my esteemed colleague and teammate, Raheem Palmer, with the pick. Because, by the way, there was some uncertainty on the rules as far as whether or not a total needed to be included.
Never clarified,
Never clarified. I made an executive decision and said we are including a total because I'm passionate about it. So
Yeah,
that was my little contribution to this Ringer 107 that for all of us has gone incredibly poorly. You know, there's somebody that's going to win. It's not going to be any of us five.
Not necessarily.
You guys are
Why?
locked into third place at least, right? I mean, it's House and and
I mean,
Dabbundo
I
battling
think
for the
so. I think if we
cellar.
pulled an 0-4, that could be,
Okay.
that could be
Sal,
in question.
we're only one win away from taking this competition
Taking it where? What are you talking
with our
about?
scoregami prediction.
Oh yeah. We put our scoregami as one of our picks, so we're gonna get a billion to 1 on that.
Oh,
Very
is that
exciting.
allowed? Oh, look at you guys.
We actually get 25 wins added to our score if we hit a 25-1 bet. You
That's
guys
not
missed
true.
that, and it was
Don't
written in the
listen to
fine
him.
print in cursive in like size 8 Times New Roman font.
Oh, I can't wait
but
till
it
this
was
decides the
included.
Ringer 107. There's a huge controversy after
Don't
the
worry
season.
about it.
Please let that be
All
the
we
case.
need- in a way, it's like betting the total. We're betting a scoregami.
Yeah. Exactly.
But to answer your question, Sal, I gave Raheem the Patriots. I kind of lean Seattle, but I don't love the side. Way more passionate about the under, so we ended up getting the under involved. Speaking of the Dabbundo, can I get you on board with an under of 45.5?
I actually bet the first half under at 22.5. I like that more. I think you have the opportunity for more variance in the second half. I know Raheem has talked about this. The second half traditionally tends to be higher scoring in these Super Bowls. You get more aggressiveness going for it. You know, more passing necessarily if a team falls way behind. And Seattle have been so good as front runners this year, too. And it's like, well, they could run up a score maybe in the second half, force a couple turnovers. So I like the first half under. I'm pretty confident both coaches come out pretty conservative. We know Seattle runs the ball at the third highest rate in the league. New England not going to take a ton of risk early. So I think that all portends to the under.
Fair enough. Okay, player prop time. There's a lot to choose from. I said
Too
it at the
many.
start of the show. It used to be an event that like, oh my goodness, player props. Now we do them every week. So it's great. I'm more than happy to get on board with a bunch of these, but you know, it's par for the course at this point. What was your favorite player prop?
Yeah, so I'm going to go over 1.5 interceptions. So I guess it's kind of a multiplayer prop. It could be one quarterback. Maybe it's Rashid Shaheed dropping back to throw a pass for some unknown reason. But I think this matchup does portend both quarterbacks getting put in third and long situations more often than they're used to. And I think that will be the story of kind of the early part of this game where you're seeing New England struggle to run the ball, Seattle struggle to run the ball, and it puts May and Darnold in uncomfortable situations. Both guys have put the ball in harm's way during these playoffs, haven't necessarily been punished. And we've seen that these two secondaries have some ball hawks back there. And the one guy that I circled on the Wednesday show was Kobe Bryant at plus 850. I think he's my favorite player to get an interception if you're looking to get really creative with and really specific with your props.
Oh, I love that, Dabbundo. That's a fun one. Kobe Bryant, let's do it. What's that number? Plus 850?
Plus 850.
That might be added to the FanDuel portfolio by the time Super Sunday rolls around. I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay. MVP. I don't need to lecture you with the history of the award over the last 25 to 30 years. It has become a quarterback award. That said, there are examples of other players. Von Miller, Edelman, Kupp, Dexter Jackson. I mean, I could go on and on. Raheem referenced Larry Brown, not from 20 years ago, Raheem, but from 30 years ago. I wish it was 20 years ago because I love the 90s. I wish I was living in the 90s or the late 70s, but that's a story for a different day. Dabbundo, I need an MVP, and it can't be a quarterback.
You can't? That's no fun. I'll go JSN. I mean, I think
You and
that
House
is
ride
the
together.
only option that makes a ton of sense to me. I mean, what's the case for New England winning this game in a scenario where Drake May is not the MVP?
One
Like,
of
it's
the
really
running,
hard to even think about it.
Sam
The
Darnold
only-
throws 2 interceptions to Christian Gonzalez.
Right.
and
I
one is
guess.
a pick six, or maybe one of the running backs scores 2 or 3 touchdowns, and that's how they win the game.
Possibly.
I'm spitfiring here, Dabbundo, but I get your point. I think you're on
Right.
something.
Yeah, I just think it's very hard. Now with Seattle, though, I think there are more avenues. And I think that's true anytime you have a favorite, is that when you have that kind of situation, you have more paths to where this could work. And if JSN has 110 yards and a touchdown and Seattle wins 20-10 or something, or 20-13, and Darnold plays okay, but not great. Smith and Jigba, it's kind of like the cherry on top of an incredible season. He would be the standout from the game. In a way, I could see this going similarly to what the Patriots-Rams Super Bowl was when Edelman won, because Brady didn't really have that great of a game. But
That's
Edelman
what I
was
want,
the guy.
Dabbundo. Let this
I
game
think
be
that's
gross,
maybe the
baby.
scenario.
Let it be gross. Yes.
But it's still, even still, it feels thin, right? Like, I don't know. MVP is such a tough market.
Because you got to he's got to have like 7 receptions also. So what's his
Right.
odds for 7 receptions and a touchdown? You're almost getting that plus 550 number right there, because that's a minimum, I think.
Exactly.
Or 2 touchdowns for that matter.
Yeah,
and that has
right.
been, House, hasn't that been like a benchmark for a lot of these receivers that win Super Bowl MVP, the idea of them getting 2 touchdowns?
And what was that, the Cooper Kupp requirement? Did he get
Cooper
to 2?
Kupp.
Yeah.
And I think Deion Branch was in that camp. Maybe.
So I just did the math on it. I did the same game parlay. If you do JSN over 93.5 yards, over 6.5 receptions, and anytime touchdown, it only pays plus 222. So, I mean, like,
but I don't think that gets him it. I don't think that gets him at those numbers. I think you got to go up even from there.
It would depend on Darnold. Darnold
And the
would
rest of
probably
the
need
game.
to throw a couple picks or have a dumb play that everybody remembers.
Yeah.
So if that happens, then maybe the door's open for JSN. But also, as well as JSN does, it probably means Sam Darnold had a really good game too. It's not like last year. Like last year, even though I like the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, it was very easy to say, well, are we sure the quarterback shouldn't be a clear favorite over the running back to win MVP? This year, he still is in the market. So you could still make a case for JSN, but it's hard to make the case for.
Don't forget with
Darnold.
Cooper Kupp, as good as his numbers were good too in that Super Bowl MVP winning year. He also drew like 3 pass interference calls inside the 5, really to keep that drive alive, and that was as big as anything else he did.
And OBJ tore his ACL in the middle of the game. OBJ was on the way to winning MVP.
I
in the
had
first
him
half.
for MVP, and I had him so many other ways. Now, he did score a touchdown in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And he might have even scored the first touchdown if I go back to it. Yeah, I bet that. That was a very good Super Bowl for me in Los Angeles. I wish the Rams were there, but they're not. It is what it is. We're moving on. Speaking of moving on, game specials. FanDuel, they have 10 zillion tabs that you can get on board with for this game. The game specials, I went through them. There's one I really like, guys. And I mentioned narrative. You guys are going to like this. The last time the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots played in the Super Bowl, a certain Seahawk team decided to throw the football when they were at the 1-yard line. Well, guess what? New England's run defense is really good. Seattle's going to have to do it again. I am taking a wager on the Seattle Seahawks to attempt the pass. They don't have to convert a touchdown. Attempt the pass from the Patriot 1-yard line. That pays, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, plus 500. You want fun? I'm giving you fun. Come on. You knew I had to do it, House. Revisiting Malcolm Butler. They could throw the interception. They could throw a touchdown. They could throw an incomplete pass. Throw them from the 1-yard line, baby. Let's go.
It's phenomenal. I love it. But plus 500, it should be like plus 5,000. It's such a crazy.
No.
We moved the market on this. Didn't we talk about this Wednesday?
It was like 6 something.
It was 7-1. Now it's 5-1. I mean, it's going to close.
Oh,
even
you
money.
guys gave this out on the Wednesday show.
Well, we talked about a million of them, but no, JJ, I actually think Pete Carroll should sue FanDuel for this, for mental anguish. I mean, this is rubbing it in at the worst, at the highest level. Very, very sad.
Speaking of, hopefully a play that's not going to be very sad, Sal, although it might be for each of the teams in this game. What was the game special that stood out?
Well, I went both teams to record an interception at plus 180. I think it's a little better than what Dabbundo is providing at that, what is it, over 1.5 total interceptions at plus 116 or something, somewhere in there. You have the young quarterback in Drake, maybe 2 interceptions in these playoffs, 10 overall if you include the postseason. I do. High pressure situation versus a very handsy Seattle defense. We can't say enough about them. And then Sam Darnold, as Raheem was going off about, had 14. He's due to give one away. You got obliques, you got shoulder issues. I'm surprised this yields that high a return here at plus 180. We saw We saw as good as Jalen Hurts was last year. He ended up with an interception. Of course, Mahomes had one. So it happens in the big game. Both teams to throw an interception. Could get Cooper Kupp actually to throw one, and that would count too. Plus 180 is the payback for that.
Okay, House. They have drive bets. They have, is the team going to score? They're going to punt? They're going to kick a field goal? You had a specific way you wanted to handle this.
Yeah, this is what will happen first. And the market is defined by, will a punt happen first or will the team score points first? And I'm looking in laser focused at the Patriots. The price is minus 148. And you say, do I really want to lay that? Well, it lines up very nicely in terms of a small advantage because the Patriots and Drake May have been a punt machine in these playoffs. Each of their first drive in these playoffs ended in a punt. 2 of them were 3 and outs. One was 5. But go to the other side of the ball. The Seahawks in the early game situations have been absolutely dominant. Opponents' opening drives, the last 8 games, 0 for 8 in terms of scoring points, and they're forcing punts on opening drives in 9 of 14 games. Now, this thing resets if New England goes for it on a 4th down and doesn't get it. You're still live. You don't lose the bet. If New England throws a pick, if Drake May throws a pick or there's a fumble, you're still live. What's going to happen first? This market's defined by punt or points. I'm taking punt at minus 148.
Okay, Raheem, no surprise you're going in this direction because we've talked about second halves in Super Bowls. A lot of history of these second halves getting downright nutty. You may be factoring that into the special.
Guess I'm going to go with the highest scoring half, the second half, minus 125. I play this pretty much every single year, and it almost always hits. 17 out of the last 26 Super Bowls have seen the second half as the higher scoring half. You go back to last year, Chiefs versus Eagles. 24 points in the first half, 32 points in the second half. We all know chaos happens in these second half. Guys are throwing caution to the wind. They're going after it. And also, this is a correlated bet that I also like if you want to play this one as well. Second half, over 22.5 points. So that's the direction I'm leaning. I know we said we like the under for the full game, but I think the first half is going to be so low scoring that second half, you're going to get, a line around 22.5, maybe even 24 or so. So I think you're getting the best of it here.
Dabbundo, you mentioned punts. Maybe there's a way to capitalize on this. That means not getting a whole lot of first downs, correct?
Yeah, I did see there's a market for longest punt return at 18.5, which I'm tempted by the over. We've got 2 very good punt returners in this game, and also Dixon, one of the best punters in the game. Seattle, huge punting edge here. Seattle, second most efficient punting in the league. New England 25th. If you think there's going to be a lot of punts, there could be a lot of hidden yardage there. Advantage for Seattle. One thing, though, and I think this is becoming my favorite prop bet, and I'm now really excited to sweat this for the entirety of the game. Under 38.5 first downs. I just had a friend text me who's from California but in Arizona right now, and he said, I need a bet for the Super Bowl. I said, how degen are you thinking? He said, as degen as you want to make it. I said, under 38.5 first downs. I think these offenses will have flickers of success. They'll find some explosives because they're constantly hunting for them. But again, I don't see this game being a lot of methodical, long drives. These 2 teams in the regular season averaged to combine right around 38. Now they're playing better defenses in a bigger game, could be played at a slower pace. All that to me leans strongly to the under 38.5 first downs. I can't wait to sweat this and root against it. Hopefully we don't get too many flags.
This is JJ. You thought you were being boring just betting a regular under. This is a different kind
Next
of
level.
This is just a sloth just hanging on for dear life in the jungle. Unbelievable. 38.
Sal, just when you think I need to pick me up, this gives me a pick me up.
Yeah, you're good now. You're fine.
This is actually incredible because you can root for explosive plays. Because every explosive play is going to kill like 1, 2, 3, 4 first downs.
Exactly. A 40-yard
short
play.
fields, everything.
Yep. Exactly.
Defensive holdings, a first down.
I just think, are you going to be tallying the first downs as you're watching the game?
I might have to. I'm going to be the worst
I think you got to do it
viewing
old-fashioned
party
style.
guest of all time.
Pen and paper, tally them down, and away you go. All right. We have novelty props we got to get to. Now, I want to warn everybody. You can't bet these in the States. So you got to tell your Canadian friend tell your Canadian cousin, whatever it might be, go on a FanDuel app and take care of these bad boys. Sal, of course you're going to the halftime show. Bad Bunny, I know one of his songs. It's a banger. I feel like I'm going to try to jam out to some Bad Bunny to get myself ready for this halftime show, so that way I feel super cultured. But you're looking at the halftime performer and his wardrobe.
Yes, I don't care about any of his songs. I just need him to keep that dome uncovered there. No hat for Bad Bunny when he first comes out is plus 210. We saw him on the Grammy telecast last week. Has a beautiful head of hair. He's going to want to show this off at plus odds. 2-1 that he goes out there hatless. Maybe works in a Heisenberg hat or an Ice Cube Detroit Tigers hat from Boys in the Hood eventually, but he's going hatless to start off. And earlier I asked Bo Jackson what Bad Bunny would wear, what kind of hat. You know what he said to me? He said he doesn't give a crap. He's Bo Jackson. He doesn't have to answer my dumb question. So there you go. Plus 210, no hat for Bad Bunny.
Clearly, Bo not enticed by what the wardrobe of one Bad Bunny is going to be. I mean, listen, when you're Bo Jackson, you're absolutely right, Sal. You don't have to care. So good for Bo. House, you're laying minus 4,000 with this, but honestly, it's a great bet, and I think it's free money. What's the free money?
Yeah, it's free money. I'm going to call my good rich friend Bill Simmons and ask him if he'll lend me $40,000 so that I can win $1,000 on this. Now, first of all, I feel bad because this has gone from one prop that I certainly feel good about into two, because Dabbundo just sharing with us that he's going to be tracking first downs, 38.5 over the course of the game. This is once again a championship football weekend that Anthony Dabbundo will not find himself in the company of a female companion at the end of the night or the next morning. Same price, minus 4,000 for that, and Stephon Diggs proposing to Cardi B post Super Bowl. Proposed to Cardi B post Super Bowl? What is he proposing? Is he proposing to impregnate her right there on the football field afterwards? That's much more likely than him proposing to get married. Stephon Diggs has 4 kids in this last year calendar year. All he's proposing to do is enjoy himself, and I'll leave it at that. Minus 4,000. Let's go.
85 minutes.
Speaking of AD,
at the 85-minute mark.
I don't know how you top this, but you might try to with Cardi B, but you're not laying minus 4,000. And I wish your Super Bowl extracurriculars better luck than minus 4,000.
I got a invite to my cousin's party Saturday night.
No.
Saturday night, we're gonna try to, her friends and whatnot. We're gonna figure out if we can pull that off, and then Sunday will be a recovery day. You can't. It's a Super Bowl party. I'll be with family, with friends.
Yeah,
you can't.
So
it's a
that
sacred
minus
night.
4,000 looks like
I was worried when he started off. I got invited to my cousins. I didn't know where that was going.
We do not mess around with family in these parts. Cardi B, though, I will say, this Super Bowl is lacking star power. We know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. You know who else knows it? NBC. Over 1.5 Cardi B appearances. We got to get her some FaceTime on the big screen so that we can get the star power up, because there's no Mahomes, there's no Kelsey, there's no Hurts,
Taylor.
No Taylor.
Right.
Sam Darnold, Drake May, probably not moving the needle. I'm betting we'll get some Ann, and we're definitely going to get some Cardi.
Raheem, the anthem is one of my favorite bets. I always screw it up on my stopwatch or my timer. We'll get it right when we're watching together in Las Vegas. How are we playing the anthem?
Yeah, I'm playing over 119 seconds. I mean, you look at the last 10 years, 6-3-1 to the over. Sometimes you're blessed to get inside information. You get somebody at the studio or somebody at the stadium who tapes it and leaks it. I didn't get that this year. I'm blindly playing the over. Whatever happens, happens.
Boys, you can't actually bet this one in the States. I got to do it. There's no logic. But when I went to Syracuse, Anthony, Fagans on Wednesday night, a tradition unlike any other, flip night. And when I went to school, I don't know if the case is the same for you. You won your flip, your beer was free. I won a whole lot of beers in my senior year at the Cuse. Tails never fails. It won last year. I'm taking it again. Tails, 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 tails. And how's going to be in Canada for this one?
Congratulations.
Do you have a record of consecutive wins at Fagans?
I think 7 was my streak.
I never got above 5, and it's $1 now. If you win the toss, it's still $1. Sadly, inflation comes for us all.
Fine.
That is very unfortunate. You know what else is unfortunate? This is the final show of the 2025 season. I mean, I would watch Dolphins Jets next Sunday. Sal, I can't believe I'm saying it, but I would.
I know. Remember we'd watch, we'd have these 6:30 a.m. games on the West Coast. Like, what are we doing? Why do they do these to these poor fans? And now they're sending Saints Browns to France. Good luck. That's worse than what we did with NATO. This is really bad.
I promise you this, gentlemen. I will not be in Madrid next year for any of the Dolphin or any NFL games. I'll save my European adventure for Sweden, Anthony, in June. Okay.
I think we could get into some fun in Sweden in June for sure. I am excited to have actual colleagues with me this time.
He's going to be like the USA hockey players in 1980, staring into the crowd.
I want to set the odds. Let's get some odds going.
Raheem, I feel
they're
like
a little too tall for me.
They might be. Raheem, considering this was your year, you will have a trophy in your background next year. What is the parting thought for the Ringer Sunday pregame audience as this season comes to a close?
Patriots are winning the Super Bowl. That's what it is.
I'm pressing leave meeting right now.
Let me tell you, Sal, I'll be lighting a candle thinking of you on Super Sunday if you are going to be dealing with 2.5 hours of victorious, giddy, maybe hungover.
This week is all about Patriots revenge. Bill Belichick didn't get in. Robert Kraft didn't get in.
Tom Brady's not even rooting for him. What revenge?
Yeah.
They're over him.
It's the universe. Hey, Patriots won a Super Bowl after 9/11, and now we about to have the second American Revolution. Patriots don't win another one.
I mean, I don't even know how you follow that up, but what I am going to say is the Ringer Sunday pregame has been a blast. The crew is outstanding. For House, Raheem, Cousin Sal, Anthony Dabbundo, all of the guests that we've had throughout the course of this year, everyone on YouTube, everyone on the FanDuel Sports Network, we love you. Jastremski signing off. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see you when we see you. Boys are out. Be good, everybody. $21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. For Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867.